Welcome to episode 3 of the interesting kanji in Danzanryu Jiu-Jitsu. In this episode, we're going to look at several kanji, and the theme of this episode will be increasing complexity. The first kanji we're looking at is a relatively simple kanji. On the left is a small box which indicates a mouth, and then on the right side are two strokes. And the brushstroke order looks like this, and it goes 1, 2, 3. By the way, this shape is used in many kanji, so it's a good idea to get used to doing that one. And then 4 goes over like this with a little kick at the bottom, and then 5 comes straight down. The on reading of this is ko, and the kun reading of this is tataku. Now the parentheses indicate that the ending may be something different, and as we'll see later, it is something different. The meaning of this kanji is to beat or to thrash. And in Danzanryu, you may have seen this one, tataki komi. Next, we'll look at this one. This one has as its radical these two pieces here, and then a straight line across inside. The two pieces on the right and the left are the radical, and that indicates a gate. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 goes all the way down with a little kick at the bottom, 7 and 8. And then the last stroke is simply this right here. The on reading of this is this, ken or sen, and the kun reading is kan-nuki. The meaning of this is a gate bar, and this is used to indicate drawing a bar across a gate to close it. The usage in Danzanryu, we have several of them. Here are two, Ushuro kan-nuki and Ashi kan-nuki. The next kanji is a little more complicated. One thing you may notice on this kanji is this shape here, which we saw in the previous episode, which meant a cliff. But in this one, we have two extra strokes, and this particular radical indicates an illness. The brushstroke order goes like this, 1, 2, 3, just as in the cliff, but now we add 4 and 5 like that. And so that indicates an illness of some type. And then to finish it off, we go 6, 7, and then 8, 9, the two horizontal strokes, 10 and 11, and then the middle vertical stroke, 12, like that. So what is this? How do we read this? The Chinese reading is su, with a long u sound. The Japanese reading is itai, and the parentheses there indicate that ending may change depending on usage. The meaning of this character is pain or hurt. Someone in a martial art contest may say itai, which means it hurts, stop doing that. So the usage, we see two usages, or we see several usages. Here are two examples. The first one here is shitsu, so it's using the Chinese reading for tsu, shitsu, and that means toothache. So this is the name of a toothache restoration technique. And the next one is another restoration technique called kata no itami. Kata no itami. So we're using itami here. Kata no itami is a shoulder pain. Lame shoulder is what we refer to that as. All right, so increasing in complexity, we have this kanji, and the strokes look like this. Notice that this now has 10 strokes, and they go like this: 1, 2. Now be careful. We draw the box first. 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we draw the vertical line. 7, 8, 9, and then we draw this familiar symbol starting here. 10, and then 11. This part right here indicates power, chikara. Okay, how do you say this character? The onyomi is do, with a long u sound. Kunyomi is ugoku. The meaning of this is motion, or could be confusion or even chaos. And a couple of usages of this are do-ko, which is a advanced technique, and then a phrase from the Mokoroku scroll which says sei chu do, which literally means calm within chaos. So let's look at a relatively complex character. This one, take a look at this, and if you notice, I'll pull out the other character here, and we notice that it has a total of 16 strokes. You think that's a lot, huh? Well, actually, for most characters, yeah, that's a pretty complicated one. But if you break it up in pieces, it's not that bad. You take, this part, this little top area here, and then this stuff down here. If you think of it in those pieces, it's not that difficult. So let's take a look at this. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, by the way, that little piece, by the way, means to stand. That's the word for stand. Anyway, we go down here, we go 6, 7, 8, 9, and that little part there you might recognize as moon or month. And then now this right side piece, you got to be a little bit careful. You do this horizontal stroke first. 10, 11 is kind of weird. It goes down and over and down, so that's that stroke. 12 goes across, kind of closing off this, what reminds me of a chair. Looks like a chair to me. So 12 goes that way. Then 13 goes down, straight down, over, and then sweeps up a little bit. It's not like a kick, but more a little sweep up there. And then you finish the character by going 14, 15, and 16. So that's the whole character. And if you practice that, it's not that difficult. When you first look at it, it says it seems as if it's pretty bad, but just practice it a few times and you'll remember it. Okay, so how do you say this character? So if you use the Chinese reading, the onyomi, it is ryu, and that's R-Y-U in English. Ryu. The R almost sounds like a D when you say it properly. Ryu, and it's a long U sound there. Ryu. So the kunyomi, the Japanese original, is this. It's tatsu, and that's the Japanese reading. The meaning of this, some of you may already know, this means dragon. So that's the character. Now, how do we use it in Danzanryu? Well, first one here, Tatsumaki Shime. So Tatsu is here, So that's the dragon character. Maki means to wind up. So Tatsumaki together means tornado or whirlwind. And then Shime means to constrict or strangle. So the dragon choke, sometimes people call that, or tornado choke. And now on this one, this is Ryuko. Ryuko. The Ryu, this dragon here is pronounced with a Chinese reading, and then Ko, you might remember from an earlier video, is the character for tiger. So this is dragon and tiger. Alrighty. Now, so you think, well, okay, this is a pretty complicated character, but if I practice it enough, I'll have it down. Well, take a look at this. We're using this particular character, which has 16 strokes. We're going to take that and triple it to make this character. Okay, this character has 16 and 16 and 16 are 48 strokes, and so it's a fairly complicated character. The way it's pronounced is Tao, Ta-u, Tao, and its meaning is dragons in motion, or dragons moving. One definition I heard was dragons circling one another. So that's what that character means. It has a total of 48 strokes, as I mentioned. So it's a pretty complicated character. And if you have a dictionary, this is probably the most complicated one that you'll find in most dictionaries. And yet, the most complicated character in all of Japanese has to be this one. It's pronounced Taito, Taito, Taito. And it's what's called a ghost word, which is kind of a reserved word that can be used for Japanese names or other things. In fact, back in earlier in the century, in about 2000, a ramen restaurant in the Chiba prefecture took this name as the name of their restaurant. It has a total of 84 strokes. How about that? And when you look at it, you say this is too complicated for me to handle. But if you notice, it has 3 dragons in it. So if you've practiced your dragons, there's a dragon, there's a dragon, there's a dragon. But then it has these 3 things, and this is the character for cloud, Kumo. So if you practice that one, it's not that bad. It's just, again, a matter of perseverance to write a character like this. So if you have the stamina, you can write this character without a whole lot of difficulty. I've written several books on Danzanryu related topics, all the way from philosophy to techniques to writing and even historical applications. If you're interested in these books, I hope you will visit Amazon.com and pick up a copy. Well, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and of course subscribe to it. And I'll see you next time.